In this video, I want to share with you some very good reasons why I believe Bitcoin is going to dump pretty bad in the next few days. If you've been sitting on the sidelines wanting to buy some Bitcoin, then probably this is going to be a very good opportunity to maybe accumulate and add more to your position. But remember, this is not financial advice. It's not my responsibility if you end up living under a bridge. But yeah, jokes aside, I really hope you are doing well. Now, before we start, my name is Kierin. Really happy to have you here with me today. I create crypto and decentralized finance videos weekly, and I make sure that you are ready for the next bull run. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and join me on the journey. And yeah, I've got a lot of exciting things ahead. So let's jump right into this. Before we start with the technical analysis part, trader that I found that is really good. I've been following him for quite a long time. I want to talk to you about some theory behind the trader's charting style, and the theory that he uses is based off of Richard D. Wyckoff, one of the titans of technical analysis, and he's got a very great style in the way that he charts out the different market cycles and maybe shows, for example, some accumulation phases and distribution phases. And I think that is very important when you see the way that he lays it out, and it fits so well with the current BTC chart. So we will skip the accumulation phase because that's not relevant for the current market, but I will go directly to the distribution phase because that's very interesting to look at the moment. So this squiggly line is the price action, and in these bands, the price will be moving for quite a while. So you've got all these abbreviations. So for example, PSY is the preliminary supply. And this is where the large interests begin to unload their shares and take out some profit from the market. BC is buying climax. So here the buying stops, during which there are often marked increases in volume and price spread. Then we've got AR, automatic reaction, with intense buying substantially diminishing after this, buying climax and heavy supply continuing. An automatic reaction takes place. As here after the sell-off, very often this is on a very major support line, and the price will be bouncing around this support line and the resistance line. Now after a while, there's going to be a UTAD test, and UTAD is up thrust after distribution. Very often many retail traders believe that this is the signal for a continuation or continuation of the bullish trend, if there would be a bullish trend. UTAD is the distributional counterpart to the spring and terminal shakeout in accumulation. Very often whales will try and catch traders off guard who want to short the market at these points. So they have their stop losses around these a little bit higher above the resistance lines, and the whales will push the price up. There will be a short squeeze, and this reduces the liquidity in the market. And after that has happened, the price will drop lower to the support lines, and if it can't hold on these lines, then it'll drop even more. And that's where I want to continue with this fantastic technical analysis by Monete Anon. Big credit to him. I'll link this chart down below so you can read it when you've got some time and you want to go through it in detail. And you can also see how it plays out. So a big thanks to Monete. I've been following a while. He's got some very great charts, and you can learn a lot through his charts. So here we've got the Wyckoff distribution phase, and he laid it out, and as you can see, it fits nearly perfectly with the Bitcoin chart and the Wyckoff chart. Both align very well. And above here, when Bitcoin reached the 7,200 and so on range, that was basically the UTAD test, where whales are catching shorts off guard And yeah, they're making the shorts hit their stop losses and filling the position of the whales. This will reduce the liquidity. So it's possible, based on his Wyckoff analysis, that will be reaching the 5,800 US dollar range in maybe like the next few days, and it's highly likely, if we don't hold this support line, that we go further down to the 4,400 and so on. So there's a lot of very different factors. He's also got some good arguments onto why this is likely going to happen. Now, first, let's start with what he tells us, and I think it's very interesting. I quote, "Please do not think we are bullish. I've seen the recent scenarios far too many times, and I'm here to alarm you that what you're witnessing is a huge bull trap." And what we have witnessed so far is definitely not organic. Recent events was a short squeeze in order to reduce the number of shorters who would take the profit once we reach new lows. And this is a very known technique by manipulators to reduce the liquidity in the market. And when they reduce the liquidity, that will, when there's a dump, the price will fall a lot lower. So that means the manipulators can buy the price at a much cheaper price. So they can buy Bitcoin at a much cheaper price. And so he's a very strong believer of Bitcoin being bullish long term, but the immediate short term, it's probably going to be bearish for a few very good reasons. Now, of course, we are all aware of the COVID-19, the massive black swan event that's happening at the moment. And this is going to have a really big impact on the whole market, on the economy, on many people's livelihood, losing jobs, and so on. But we'll get into that in a bit. And there's another chart that he did a while ago with the accumulation phase, and that fit also perfectly well, and it also executed flawlessly. But we won't go into that right now. But he's got some three very good arguments, and to underline his point that the short-term Bitcoin is bearish. So first of all, you might have already read about that, but yesterday we saw USA's unemployment report, in which 6.6 million citizens have now filed for unemployment, and that's just a really crazy number. Around a week ago, it was around 3.2 million. And before that was 400K. So the exponential growth of the unemployment rate is just crazy. So it's possible that in the next few weeks, there will be a 30 million unemployed people, which is around 10% of the population. And here in Switzerland, we've already now got a 10%. And the USA is a little bit behind Switzerland in terms of the coronavirus growth and peak. So it's possible that there are much more, that the situation can get a lot worse, unfortunately. Yeah. Number two, mining firm war. And this is a very interesting argument. This is very much the same concept we're witnessing today with regards to the oil price war. And the big dogs, the big mining farms, most of them in China, are trying to drive the price down so that it's unprofitable for the smaller mining farms, and they will stop mining. And yeah, this is something that occurs every halving cycle with the sole intention to increase the market share of the bigger mining corporations. And number three, we have topped out. If we observe Bitcoin in the low time frame, we can already see a lower high is being produced as Bitcoin struggles to pass 7K. We've got many very, very tall wicks, which shows that there's a very strong selling pressure at those levels. And it's a difficult barrier to pass psychologically. And yeah, it's just crazy. So he also offers some very good suggestions on how to prepare. And I think the best way to prepare is not to try and time the market in a sense that you sell some cryptocurrency, sell Bitcoin and so on and buy back. But if you're looking for an opportunity to buy, I think this is one of the best opportunities you're probably going to have. I don't think after this coronavirus, after this economic crisis, recession and so on is past, I don't think you have any chance left to buy Bitcoin at these prices that we're going to see. So we're going to have to look how this pans out And if we quickly look at the BTC USD chart at the moment, as you can see, the wicks are really big. I'm on the hourly at the moment, and we had one massive wick at the, when was that? That was the 2nd of April, where we nearly touched the $7,300 range. So we've got one wick here, and then we've just printed a very big wick here on the 4th of April. And yeah, this shows there's a very high selling pressure. Now it's possible that it can spike up again, but I believe that the selling pressure is really high here. And another thing to know is that on the RSI, we've got a bearish divergence. So I'm expecting a break of the trend line sometime soon. So yeah, hope this, I'm really wondering how this pans out. I think there's very good arguments for a bearish scenario, but as always, you really never know what's going to happen. There's so many times that the market has done something completely unexpected to what everyone was thinking would happen. So you have to take what I say with a grain of salt. Don't put your whole investment into a trade. And yeah, that's about it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I wish you a fantastic start to the week, and enjoy your Sunday. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next video. If you've got any questions, leave them down in the comments below. I'll gladly answer them for you. So have a nice one. See you next time. Bye bye.